Hui hui, it's louisity again, so I will be filming a book review about one of the books written by Samantha Sotto. So, for this video I'll be reviewing Love and Gravity, hurrah! So, I really enjoyed reading this book, and as for filming this, I just finished it like a few days ago. I got into some sort of a reading slump. You know, life happens, we get into reading slumps, so that's why, I just finished now. So, let's begin talking about this book. So, this book follows the story of Andrea, who has every now and then been seeing Isaac Newton through another, wall. You know, there's like a hole, and she gets to have conversations with Isaac and has this sort of different kind of unusual relationship wherein people don't really, believe because, of course, I personally would think, how can she have a relationship with Isaac Newton? And, Isaac's, dead, centuries ago. So, yeah. And she also deals with, how she's handling, her conflict with, there's some sort of, a conflict of interest between her love with her boyfriend Nate as well as her relationship with Isaac Newton. So that's how the story revolves around, and also includes music, where she was mentored by her dad, and how she gives a lot of references to Bach, which is what I like. Now, what I like about this book, as you can, if you read the back part and as you go throughout the story, and based on the things that I mentioned, it kind of deals with some sort of a magical realism, time traveling, music. So if you're into those things, if you are interested with time travel, magical realism, music, classical music, and some, of course, romance, unusual kind of romance, then this book is definitely for you. This is worth the read. It might be a little bit at some points kind of you might space out a bit, but overall I really enjoyed it just because it was executed well, an unusual kind of romance, love from somebody 300 years ago through a wall and a hole in the wall. And I love the fact that they talked about the Fibonacci series. At first I kind of felt like it was just an interesting kind of logical pattern, but Isaac talked about it in a different kind of way. I don't know, it's kind of interesting right now that I'm talking about Isaac as if Isaac Newton. That itself is just so powerful, and just throughout the story, it was just so beautifully executed. So that's why I really enjoyed reading it, despite being in a slump, on the course of reading this book. What else can I say about this one? Yeah, the Fibonacci numbers. Now, this book sort of gave that more of just some fun logical pattern, and I just loved it. I just also love it's quite fast paced, by the way, because we see Andrea grow, for every chapter is 2-3 years later, we get to see the side of Isaac, what's the life in the 17th century or the 18th century, and we got to discover how at first people were finding it odd about all these things that Andrea's saying, her relationship, her father, who's been and there's some sort of twists here that I didn't expect, and then when it was explained later on, it was wow, that's really cool. I'm trying to not spoil that much so that you guys can read this. Try to the best of my ability not to be too spoilery or to be spoiler free. Hopefully I'm doing it that well. But yeah, I think I'm very satisfied with this one. The time traveling, it's always wonderful when Samantha Sotto does this. I think that's just her forte. So what else can I say? I gave it 4.5, so I recommend you guys reading this. Another wonderful book written by a Filipino author / Asian author. So that is a hurrah in my book. Yeah. So what else? I'm just blown away and floored. It's just a different kind of concept that I haven't read before, a different kind of romance. Just trying to play with words here. Yeah, so I think that's about it. I loved it. So if you guys, have any thoughts about this book, if you guys read it, or if you guys have any other like sort of books that are kind of similar to this one, like the premise, the concept, feel free to shoot it down in the comment section. So if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. Also, I'll be linking down and putting my social media handles, so feel free to check me out and follow me there as well. As always, thank you super much for watching. Unleash the reader in you. Bye, y'all.